and welcome. My name's Beck and you're watching Beck's Crafty Nook. Today we're going to be talking about making this phone cover. I love how it turned out. It's like gummy bear slash Care Bear with the green clover. This is done with the cricket. And then on the inside we put some felt to hide all the cross stitch stuff. So this is worked back and forth, cross stitch on top. Now the next clip I've got is actually a clip I took for my vlog, but I was talking about creating this, where the idea came from, all that jazz. So let's get into it. And then this morning I woke up super early, like 3 a.m. early, and then I was on Pinterest. And I think even the day before yesterday I was on Pinterest and I was looking at like crochet phone covers, but I noticed there's no patterns. I found a couple of YouTube shorts where people are actually making it, so I just decided to make my own. So originally I started off with like a tapestry crochet, so this is like the face of it, but I don't like how it gets all muddled up. Like here is supposed to be green and you can't really see it with the color changes. So I gave up on this, and then I decided I'm just going to do it all in single crochet. And then if you pull these apart, it's hard to see, you can actually cross stitch on top. There's like, it makes a little box, a little square, and then you could cross stitch there. So this is going to be a little gummy bear. I'll show you the photo. Or it's like a it's from Bracelet Book, a little Care Bear. Yeah, so I thought I can do that in all different colors, and instead of doing like all this bit in here, I'm just going to make him all green and like all light green where it's supposed to be. And I'm going to get my cricket out and I'm going to cut the little clover that should go on the green one, and so on and so forth. And so yes, I'm going to cross stitch on top. So I've been busy making a phone case. So this is for the phone that I'm recording on now, and it went really well. So I just like counted how many across, which I think was 16. Then I went up, and then I just went here to fit that. This is a chain, and then in the back loop I did half double crochets. These will need to be like glued down like that all the way around. And so same for the button. Oh, actually I slip stitch, that's right. When I finished this front part I slip stitch so I could do the back loop only. And then for the buttons I just chained over and then started double crocheting, and then we did these ones. So when I glue it down, I'll glue down from the bottom to the top, because this is the bit that has the most stretch. And I stuffed up these buttons because I was like, oh, it's just the two sound buttons, but no, I missed that one. And that's not even in the right place. I don't know what I was doing. Oh yeah, I did that one, and then I should have done 2 more. And so it's just 3 chain with 1 in between. But anyway, I'm going to leave it like that because I don't know, I need to get some, this case was like $50. So I'm just going to get some Kmart ones so we can, and I've sort of got the recipe now. I can make blank things, blank covers. I just got to fix up this part. But yeah, I just want to do the cross stitch on here. Can you see it a bit better? Here we go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, and that's going to be your X. And I'm making like a little short video, so you might even see the short because it's Wednesday. You'll probably see the short before you see this video. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and cross stitch that now and see how it goes. So we are using the Flinders Shine cotton in the white, I'm pretty sure it's called Winter. And I'm starting off with a foundation chain, but you could start with just a normal chain and work into the chain. From there I'm just going to work single crochet, yarn under, back and forth until it's the size of my phone, up until where the camera hole is. So I just do a few rows until it looks good, and then I measure it up against the phone case. To go around the camera hole, we're going to use a chain, and then we're just going to slip all the way around. I do a 1 slip stitch into this hole, and then 1 slip stitch in the middle of the next row. 1 into that whole space, 1 into the middle of the next row, all the way around. That's going to leave us an edge where we can work into the back loop, and that helps us to go around the corner of the phone. We continue working around until you reach where you started, and then we're going to do half double crochet in the back loop and all the way around again, joining with a slip stitch at the top. When you get to your chain, you will be doing just one of the loops, the one that looks like the back loop. I am continuing to yarn under as well, but I don't think it really matters there. And then you can see how this helps it to curve around, and the height of the half double crochet is pretty good for attaching onto the phone. This is how the case is looking once we've gone all the way around. To leave the holes for the buttons, I just did 3 chain and then 1 half double crochet. You skip 3 stitches below and then put your half double crochet into the next stitch, and you will get these small holes. Next, we've got to start the cross stitch. So I'm choosing 2 of the same yarns in the cotton. I've got a lime green and a forest green and a tapestry needle. And I'm just going to use my chart to do the cross stitch. I counted all my stitches to see that the motif is going to fit both ways. It doesn't fit quite evenly because of the stitch count, and it was a little bit hard to see exactly where the squares were, but I just got started and it ended up looking okay. After I had a bit of practice, then it was easier to see the actual squares. And originally I made a little mistake that I missed 4 of the dark green stitches here, but I go back and get them later. So actually on this first row, I didn't quite get the X properly, and it's a little bit on a lean, but you don't notice, it's totally fine. This process was really zen and really relaxing, and I can't wait to do more of these. Here's our finished little Care Bear / Gummy Bear. He looks so cute. We could do some outlines next time, but I think he still looks really sweet as is. I'm really happy with him. And we're going to put the clover up here. That's a perfect spot for it. So that means it's Cricut time. So I got my dark green glitter heat transfer vinyl, and I've already cut it out. This is how I cut around it so I can save the rest of the vinyl for use later. So on this tiny square is our little clover. Peeling the backing off or weeding it is so easy with heat transfer vinyl. There it is. And I realized I could do this because it's cotton and you can iron cotton. So I'll just get my towel out so we can iron on top of it. And here we go. It looks so cute, so glittery. Now, it did have a little bit of trouble sticking, as in peeling it up. So I ironed it quite a few times and I kept checking on it, and I ended up just making it really hot, and then I flipped it on the other side, like so that it was face down, onto the cool bench top to try and cool it down a bit. So you have to be really careful peeling it up because it doesn't quite want to stick, but once you've got it peeled off, it's definitely it's on there, it's stuck. Alright, now it's time for hot glue, and I've also cut out a little piece of felt for the inside to cover up all the messes. So I had these little silicone finger guards out, but I ended up not using them. I was okay. So there's our piece of felt, and I just used the insert that came with the phone to cut out the felt, and we're going to start gluing. I decided to start from the bottom up, and it was quite fiddly to get things glued down in the right spot. The phone also, the way I've glued it down, the hot glue is a little bit in the way of the charger, so I have been taking my phone case off to charge it. I'm a little worried about things catching on fire, you know, if you've got the charger plugged in on top of, you know, a piece of cotton. So next time I think I probably wouldn't use hot glue. I think next time I might use like the E600, or maybe make the stitches just slightly bigger, maybe do a double crochet. So there's definitely room for improvement. I'm happy with what I did do, but we definitely need to keep working on it and see if we can, you know, hone in and get it perfect. As you can see, like all the threads and things from the back of the cross stitch, I didn't bother weaving anything in. When you do cross stitch, you can weave it all in and hide it, but that is what our piece of felt is for, to cover that up and make it look neat and tidy. And I was able to just peel back some of the hot glue that I wasn't quite happy with. I'm trying to just bring that little plait look of the finished stitches to the top to make it all neat and tidy. Here is our phone cover all glued down. I'm pretty chuffed with it. It really wasn't too hard to do, but I think just need more practice at getting everything looking super schmick. And I did change those holes so that I've got 3 holes now. And there's a close-up of all our mess in the back, but we're going to cover that up now with the felt. So as I said, I used the insert that came with the phone to cut out the felt, and the felt did stretch a little bit, so when I finish the case you can see that it does poke out a little bit, but it really doesn't affect. So you can see through that hole the felt is poking out just that little bit. So eventually I'd like to get a template that we can just cut out with the Cricut, and it will be really nice and precise. But otherwise I'm so happy. The phone fits back in totally fine, and it's really cute. That's the only thing, is that I take it off to charge it just in case. Here's how we look with the phone back inside. As you can see, the camera hole's so big it doesn't affect the camera at all. Ta-da! I'm so happy with it. I think it's adorable. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing how I made everything. The next clip that I have is also from my vlog last week, and it's just talking about like all the things that I would change, and I've also started to experiment with something else to hopefully make it better next time. So let's take a look. This is the finished case. I think it's so cute. Something happened here that it wasn't quite right according to the chart. I'm not sure, but because when you do that back and forth, the X's don't exactly line up. Like, they look pretty good, but then see, this one is a little outside of its square, and I think the Cricut thing turned out pretty good. I want to get a template so I can cut that with my Cricut, because it did overlap a little bit, but this hides all the messy of the back of this, so you don't have to weave in ends or anything like that. So yeah, I was like, because of this back and forth, it doesn't quite line up, and so I experimented with just going one way, because when you do your amigurumi, because you're going in a spiral, it's always facing the same way. So I am going to try one this week where you just face the same way, and I just put a few stitches on top and it's much better. Like you can see here, you can see those X's much better. So yeah, every row you start here, go across and finish off. I don't think that's going to be a big deal, because when you go around with the slip stitches, that will hide that. All those ends go in the back. You don't have to weave them in, you just tie them off, cut them short, and they get hidden by this here. So I think that might be fun to work on this week. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching the video today. If you got this far, if you've ever made a phone case, anything, you can write me a comment and I'll always check it and reply. And I'll see you guys again soon, and we're going to try a phone case with that just going the one way and see how our cross stitch turns out. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you like what you see, and check out these other videos.